Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How are you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my June empties, in which I go through every product I emptied in June and talk to you about it. But I also end these videos with an update to my beauty bank. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the beauty bank, I have a set amount of points, and the points equate to an item in my makeup categories that count against me at the end of the year for inventory pieces, against me, for me, whatever. I elected to give myself a 35 point beauty bank at the beginning of the year, meaning I didn't want to purchase more than 35 products to come into my collection. That's not saying more than 35 products can't come into my collection, because I also work in the beauty industry. I get a lot of gratis, so I'm gonna have more than 35 new items in my collection at the end of the year, but I didn't want to purchase more than 35 items. And I do have a spreadsheet going so I can tell the difference between gratis items and purchased items, because I'm trying to curb my spending. I think that this is the best way to go about a low buy, no buy, whatever, because you have a bank that you're allowed to, debit from, and you still get to purchase things. And I know from experience that a low buy and a no buy, I consistently fail at. So I thought that this was the best way to do it. I get the idea actually from Steph at It's Just Steph. I've been watching her for years. I love it. So I'm doing it this year, and it's actually working out quite well for me. I'm enjoying it. So we do go over those products also, and that beauty bank recap also in this video, as well as my haul video. So you're going to see a beauty bank recap twice a month. With that said, I'm doing these empties because I have a haul that I need to share with you, and I'm super excited about the items in the haul, but I need to make some more. I need some more points first. So, not that I'm down to 0, because I'm not. I have 23, but yeah. Anyways, with that all being said and done, my name is Donna. For those of you new here, hi. I'm a lover of all things high-end colorful beauty and self-care, and I like to shop. I also work in the beauty industry as a district leader for Ulta, so I get a lot of education in my position. I like to bring you that education here on my channel through things like reviews. I do at least one review video every single week called Palette Roulette. I review palettes. We are on episode like 180 or something like that, and we've reviewed something like 200 eyeshadow palettes. So I have like 900 videos on my channel. I do hope that you find something that you love. If there's something that you'd like me to do, please list it down in the comment section. I would love to do it. Long intro aside, let's get into this empties video. I'm trying to separate everything from what counts against me and against me. Why do I keep saying that? I mean, nothing counts against me. What counts for makeup and what doesn't, and I think I'm just gonna dig in. I have a lot in here, but not a lot also, if that makes any sense. So the first thing I have in here is this. This is the Redken Wax Blast 10. This is a high impact finishing spray wax, and I love this stuff. I will probably purchase some more, because this is the most amazing product for people who have like short texturized razor cut haircuts to use for creating kind of this wispy, like straight out of bed look on purpose in your hair. I love this product. It's not cheap. It's a spendy product, but I did have it for quite some time though. So if you do opt to purchase something like this, it's going to last you a long time. The next thing I have in here is this. This is the Clinique Clarifying Lotion 2. This is a twice a day exfoliator. I do use it every morning and night. This was an extra bottle that I got in gratis. I put it in my to-go bag, and then I got a smaller bottle of it, a to-go size bottle of it. So I took this one out of my to-go bag and dumped whatever was left of it into my bigger bottle, because I always have bottles sitting over here where I do my makeup. It's the first thing I do every day, and it's the last thing I do. Well, the first thing I do before my skincare routine at night, every night. So I love this clarifying lotion. It's really remarkable, the difference in how your makeup applies to your face when you're using this product versus when you're not. This lasts forever also. This bottle that I currently have in my rotation, I've had in my rotation for right around 8 months. Speaking of Clinique, Holy Grail items, this is also a Holy Grail for me. This is the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm. I can't be bothered to take my makeup off without this. Currently, I'm using another makeup remover balm that I really love also, that's a cheaper version of this. It's actually pretty compensatory, so I might have a dupe for you in the very near future, but I do also just really love this balm. And honestly, we get a lot of extra discounts in my position also. At Ulta Beauty, all of the associates get extra discounts all the time, and at the end of the day, if I purchase this when we have those extra discounts, I actually get it cheaper than the one I'm currently using. So this is a really amazing cleansing balm. I quite like it. It doesn't have any like smell. It's emollient. It's not Vaseline-y, so, but it leaves your skin feeling really hydrated, in my humble opinion, which isn't something that I get from every cleansing balm. Sometimes I feel like my face is stripped and I have super dry skin, so I'm not having that. I also really love the LMS one, but the LMS one is twice the price of that one, so I also don't do that. This is a Bath & Body Works foaming hand soap. If you guys are familiar with my channel at all, you know that these are the only kind of hand soaps I use. These hand soaps I find are really super gentle to my really dry skin. And I can wash my hands, 10-15 times a day and not worry about them cracking and bleeding when I'm using this hand soap, specifically during the winter time frame. And when I realized that, this soap had my heart from that point forward. This is the Mango Mai Tai hand soap, and this one has mango nectar, sun-kissed grapefruit, and sugarcane notes in it, and it really does smell like mango. It has a really heavy mango scent. I love it for that reason, but also hate it for that reason. Like, it is potent. I will repurchase this, or would repurchase this. This is a summer scent, so it might be available again this year, but this is the one I purchased last year. I usually have like 12 or 14 of these guys on rotation, so I would repurchase this in a heartbeat, and I am getting down to like 6 gentle foaming hand soaps, so I do need to go to Bath & Body Works and purchase some more. And if they had this, I would repurchase it. I do think, though, that that is more of a kitchen sink scent than it is a bathroom sink scent. The next thing I have is this. This is a Beauty Blender Cleanser Solid. I use these to cleanse my sponges for my makeup. These usually come with a little like thing on the inside that's rubber, and it has like little like beads on it so that you have like a little bit of a scrubber. I never use that, but these Beauty Blender cleansers are super nice and really convenient. But I do have a dupe for this, and that is the Ulta Beauty one. So I started using the Ulta Beauty solid cleanser not that long ago, actually, as soon as this one was done, and I feel like it cleans the same way. The only difference is, well, there's a couple differences. It is much bigger, both in diameter, but also in width. So you're going to get a whole lot more product for way less. This is like $22 or something like that. The Ulta Beauty brand cleanser does not come with the little rubber like thing, but that's why it's not in this one. I just took it out and put it into the Ulta Beauty cleanser. There's nothing wrong with it. And that one does smell real good. That one has a little bit of a vanilla scent, whereas this one doesn't really have a scent. I don't know why I just sniffed that. There's nothing left in here. With that said, I probably won't purchase this ever again, because I did find something that works just as good that's way cheaper. And Ulta Beauty brand is pretty phenomenal. Next, I have this. This is just a Wallflower from Bath & Body Works collections also. This is in Tiki Beach. I have Wallflowers in my makeup room here in my bathroom, and my son's got one in his room because, 15-year-old boys. This smells like dessert. So the Tiki Beach scent says it has notes of warm vanilla musk, orchids, and toasted coconut. It smells so good. I would repurchase this in a heartbeat in both soap and fragrance scents. So there's that. I also have this one here, which is Summer Boardwalk, which is supposed to be warm and comforting, and it's supposed to have notes of caramel glazed popcorn, warm taffy apples, and Salty Sweet Cream. This one smells also really damn good, like a dessert, but the first few days it's almost too sweet. It's almost too sickeningly sweet. Like I could walk into this room and be just overcome with nausea because it smelled so sweet. So this is really good. I would repurchase it. Honestly, it was really good, but I don't think I would leave it in this room that's closed off 90% of the time. I would probably put it into my bathroom one that's open most of the time. This is just a tool. So I'm putting this in here because I hate this brush. So I'm going to give it to my daughter. I don't really love that it is not dense in the way that you would think it is, being this big and round. It's fluffy, but also floppy. And I want a brush that is this dense to be a little bit more firm, unless it is more like, if it's this big and floppy, that's totally fine. I expect that from one this big, but it's quite a bit smaller. Where I realized that I really didn't like this brush is that I tried to use it in my like Dior Powder No Powder. I tried to use it in the powder that was in my Shop My Stash rotation last, the Bare Minerals powder, and it just didn't work. It didn't work very well for those kind of products, but those kind of products are going to be the kind of products that I will use most with this brush. Also, my daughter just really loves the metallic, like, taperedness of the brush handle, so I was like, you can have it. Just, I'll give it to you in a second. Then I have a couple more brushes in here, and you guys, I just truly have like a lot of brushes, so getting rid of brushes that I will never use is part of my plan over this year, because I know that you can see all the brushes behind me. Those are just eye brushes. I also have a container of brushes sitting beside me. I also have a full container of brand new brushes sitting across the way. So I don't need any more brushes. I don't. But I also need to like mill out the brushes that I will never use, so that I can maybe get to some of the brushes that I will use over there that are brand new. These two I will never use. I know that this is a super popular shape. It is kind of like that angled, like, blending brush for your eyes. I will never use these brushes. I think they've been in my collection for years. I think I maybe have used them once or twice. I tried to use them a couple weeks ago. I took them out on the road with me as my eye brushes, and I hated my life because these were the only two eye brushes I had, and I hate this shape. But I did that on purpose to see if I would be able to create or love creating with these brushes, and I just don't. So I'm also going to give these two brushes to my daughter. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just brushes that I don't love to use myself, and if she doesn't love to use them, that's fine too. We'll just get rid of them. I also have this. This is a makeup remover wipe from Rio. I don't know. R-A-I-O. It's, again, I spend a lot of time out on the road. I travel for work. I have a district of 11 stores that's pretty geographically, expansive. So I spend a lot of time in hotels. This was a hotel makeup wipe. And I've had hotel makeup wipes in here before that I've raged about because they're awful. They're too small, they're alcohol-y, they sting my eyes, they're whatever. This is a really nice brand of wipes. So I'm telling you, Comfort Suites is where I typically stay. I do believe this was in a Comfort Suite that I went to. I love Comfort Suites. Their customer service is just amazing. Not sponsored, just saying. There are some like shanty villas out there in the comfort land. I won't stay at those ones. I'd rather stay at a Hilton or some other something than those ones, but most of the time I stay at a Suites, and Suites are really, really nice. This is a beautiful makeup wipe. Really big, really big. I had plenty of space on this makeup wipe to get not only all of my facial makeup off, but like rub in my eyes for the mascara multiple times, and then rinse it out. And I used it the next night as well. There was only one, because I also don't like them to come into my room and clean my room, and then 2 nights I'm there. There's no reason for it. It's a waste of their time. So I could use this 2 nights in a row, which was really nice for me. It was a beautiful, hearty makeup wipe. So The rest of what is in here, I do believe, is makeup. And I am stoked about it because I need the points. I need the points for my beauty bank. So let's start with this. This isn't considered makeup, I guess, for some people, but it is something that's in my inventory because it's something that I love and something that I use every single day and something that counts as an inventory bracket in my inventory. So this is the Benefit Pore Professional Super Setter. This is an amazing setting spray. I love this setting spray because it's got such a, I don't think I can, yeah, I can't. It's got a really, really nice spray on it. It's just a flow instead of like a death spray into your face. It is so beautiful, the spritzer on this. It also is alcohol free. I was skeptical because it didn't contain alcohol. And they were saying it could provide as much staying power as Urban Decay All Nighter. And I was an Urban Decay All Nighter Holy Grail fan. This really does that. It doesn't sting my eyes. It doesn't make my eyes water. It doesn't make my face drier, which I do think All Nighter does. This wasn't in my collection for very long, but I'm super happy that it is completely gone and I can get it out of my collection. I actually have a couple items in here that I didn't realize weren't makeup, but they aren't. This is a Shayna B blending brush. I got it in an IPSY. I hate this blending brush because this doesn't necessarily blend. It flicks and you're gonna see patchiness. You're gonna see a lot of instability in your makeup game. It flicks. I can't stand it. It creates patchiness in my eye looks every single time I use it. At first I thought it was me. Then I used it more and more, realized it was this stupid brush, so I'm getting rid of that brush, okay? Then I also have these two items in here, which weren't, also they're not makeup. So this is actually Milk Makeup's Cooling Water and Watermelon Toning Sticks. These two sticks I got in a like sample bag. I purchased actually from Sephora a milk sample bag that had these two sticks and a blush stick and a blur stick and a bronzing stick. So 5 sticks in it. I'm still currently using the blur stick, the lip and cheek stick, and the bronzing stick, but these two sticks I am done with their skincare. So super happy to have them out of my collection. There towards the end, they were really, really bad. And you can see like I did flatten them. But then also as I started to like kind of try and dig out the product, it just kind of fell out in one piece, which is how I know that they were bad anyways. And I shouldn't have been using them on my skin for as long as I was. That was a really old set. I have 3 mascaras. This one, I love Lancome Lashy Doll, but for whatever reason, this one kind of just exploded on me. I'm not sure what happened here, but I don't know if you guys can see this. It's freaking disgusting. The stopper is, I don't know, somewhere in the top of this. I think this right here is the stopper. I don't know how this happened, but I went to go put it on my face the other day and I was like, gross. So that is one of them. The other one is this one. This is NYX Worth the Hype. And you guys, I really have to say, like, I have been known to shit on some of the drugstore side products because I'm just a prestige and I'm just a bougie girl. I just am. But this was actually a pretty good mascara. I actually quite liked it. I used it quite often on my lower lash line. This is what the wand looks like. It's not a bad wand. It's like a fluffy Christmas tree. I prefer a like a plastic wand. What I loved about this is when I put it on my lower lash line, it didn't therefore transfer onto my cheeks, which I find a lot, even in a lot of high-end mascaras. So this is I think a travel size, but I would potentially in the future, when I don't have 50 other mascaras that I need to go through, I would potentially purchase this. I wouldn't hesitate to use it again if it came across my path in the future. Then I have this one by Chanel, and this one is the Chanel, I don't know, it's just a little sample size. I got it when I purchased the Chanel foundation and Chanel bronzer as a welcome to Chanel gift from Chanel, which I thought was pretty freaking fantastic. This mascara is just okay. It's not amazing. It's certainly not anything to write home about. It's certainly not anything that I would spend, you know, the money on to get full price. I do think that this one transferred on me quite a bit. I actually tried it on my lower lash line and I would never do that again. And it didn't really give me anything on my upper lash line, if I'm honest. Color, sure. Any kind of length or volume, absolutely not. So, I mean, it's maybe a hyped up product in the Chanel world, but it's definitely not one that I would ever purchase. The next thing I have is this. This is the ABHI primer. This was a rollout of my Project Pan last month. Well, for the month of June, and it's a beautiful eye primer. This very quickly became a favorite for me. Actually, I think this is my third like sample of it, and as soon as I get them, I like use them right up. It's not like there's a whole lot of product in these in the first place. I mean, they are little tiny products, right? But they are really, really good. They have kind of a white base, so they're going to blank out anything on your lid. They also have a matte formula, and they're super smooth. There's no texture to them. Really easy to blend out all over the eye, but as soon as you get it on the eye, it like stays put. It goes nowhere. And I loved using it because I didn't actually have to put like a brow bone shade in my brow bone if I went in with this primer and put the primer all the way up to my brow bone, because it quantified as a brow bone shade because it was white. I really like it. I really like it a lot. So at the end of the day, if I had to pick two eye primers to keep in my collection forever and ever, this would probably be one of them. The other one would probably be the Ulta Beauty one. I really love this primer. You will probably see a full size of it in the future. This was a roll into my Project Pan in the month of June, and it rolled out of my Project Pan in the update for this month. It's a Marc Jacobs fine liner, and it is in the shade Grapevine. I didn't realize that I didn't have as much of the product left in it that I thought I did, because it's not retractable. It's a pencil that you roll up, but if you roll it up, you cannot roll it back into itself. So I was always very careful to just roll up a little bit at a time. I think I used it 3 times after rolling it into my Project Pan, and it's gone. So super happy to have an eyeliner out of my collection. Then I have this. This also kind of was a tragic accident, but one that I was working very diligently on over the last, several months, because it rolled in January to my Project Pan. But this was the ColourPop Super Shock in So Quiche. Very beautiful, like grungy lavender eyeshadow. I would repurchase it. Honestly, I had a really great time with it, and there at the end of its time in my Project Pan, I had a really healthy pan in it, but I set it on top of my vanity, went about doing my makeup, turned around, hit it accidentally, it fell on the floor, and it was just dry enough, because it's been in my collection for a while, that it crumbled all over the floor. So I have carpet. I'm definitely not picking it up and pressing it back in here. So it was a tragic accident, but it is also an empty in my collection. Another one that happened very naturally through the Shop My Stash process is this. This is a Stila Glitter and Glow, or Glimmer and Glow. No, Glitter and Glow. And this is in the shade Tulip Twinkle. And this was my favorite when I first got it in my collection. But I think you can see it is completely empty in there. You can see the bottom of the component. I put it into my Shop My Stash and for the month of June, and very quickly was done with it. It isn't even one that dried up, so I'm pretty proud of myself for saying that, because Stilas typically dry up before you can use them all. And then I have these 3 items. So I also have an empty Clinique Lip Gloss. This was in the shade Caramel Pop. Love me a milky lip gloss, and these lip glosses are just fantastic, and they last forever. I mean, honestly, I've always left my lips feeling hydrated and really, really pretty on the lips. This is the Wander Beauty brow gel. I have to be honest with you, I love this brow gel wand. It is a really skinny, nice, wonderful one that doesn't get all over your skin because it's so skinny, but also is really great to use on the tail area where you really need a really tight pointed one to get to if you have, you know, tails like mine. This was wonderful for that want. However, I wish the formula of the brow gel inside was just a little bit more stiff. I could put it on my brows and they would look really good for about 2 seconds, and then they just fell almost immediately. It felt like I was using water on my brows instead of a brow gel. So I did utilize this through my project pan. It was one of the items that rolled out of my collection last month. I think it probably could have rolled out of my collection the month before, but because there was really not any indication of what it was doing for my brows, again, it felt like water. I didn't know. So I waited until there was absolutely nothing that I could get off of the brush as in terms of feeling wet, to call it an empty. So it is empty, and then I have this. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I think this might be the first concealer I've ever finished, maybe, because I just don't wear concealer. But part of me doing project pans and shop my stashes this year and starting, you know, mid-year last year was that I really wanted to get some use out of the things in my collection that I never use. One of those items is concealer. With that said, all of these empties equate to 11 points that I can add to my beauty bank. And I am so excited about those 11 points because I have a haul that's going to take a lot of those points away. I currently have 23 points prior to my haul. I currently have 23 points in my beauty bank. So adding these 11, I'll be back up to 34, which is crazy sauce because I'm just so very proud of the fact that between empties and purchases, I have not already spent those 35 points I gave myself. And at the end of the year, you know, depending on how many points we have left at the end of the year, I may do this again next year and reevaluate the number of points that I'm giving myself. But I think I'm actually honestly doing a really good job of just trying to use the stuff that I have in my collection. I think when I think about the hauls that I have had this year, there hasn't been many, number one, and number two, most of them have been maybe 2 or 3 items. This one happens to be a lot more than that, and the last one happened to be a lot more than that. And I know that I will probably also have one more haul this year, potentially 2 more hauls this year that have a lot more products than, you know, 1 or 2 items being my birthday haul and a holiday haul. For the most part, I've done really well, and I'm really proud that adding these 11 items will put me back up at 34 points, which is almost as much as I started with 7 months ago. It looks like I forgot a eye pencil. This was kind of dinking around in the empties. This also is an empty through my Project Pan series. So I actually have 12 empties. So that brings me back up to 35. Makes me oh so happy. So yay me. So with that said, that is it. That is all I have for you. Those were the empties that I had in my collection, my beauty bank update, and I hope that you guys love this video, and I hope that if you did, you'll give it a big thumbs up. It really does help our channels, and I would appreciate it so much from you. I also hope that you liked it or me enough that you're considering subscribing. Before you leave today, I would love to welcome you into my crazy YouTube fam, and I only need like 65 more of you to subscribe, and I'll hit 1,000 subscribers. And I've been doing this for 5 years, you guys. 1,000 is my dream. And I'm so close. So I really hope that you choose to spend some more time with me. I would love to have you. Let me know down in the comment section if you do subscribe. I would love to welcome you personally. I still do that to every single person, and still talk to every single person down in my comment section. So please chat with me down there. I would love to hear from you. If you have an empties video, let me know. I'll come support your channel just like you supported mine. And thank you guys just so much for being here today. I hope that you and yours are safe, that you're healthy, and that you're getting along as best you can in this crazy world that we're living in right now. I hope that you are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.